Hello again, and welcome to part 2 of our documentary entitled Mount Banahaw, the Healing Mountain. This is the continuation of my healing story. And so off we went to Mount Banahaw, bringing with us all sorts of painkillers and other medications in case I do not get healed and my condition worsened. After meeting with the healer and the guides in Banahaw, Carmita and I, with great anticipation, started to walk to the cave of St. Peter. What we did not know was that to reach the cave of St. Peter, we had to climb the mountain, which hardly had any pathways. We had to balance ourselves as we stepped on rocks to reach our destination. Early on, I told the healer that I couldn't do the climb. I was certain that if I tried, my back pain would worsen. All she said was, "Kaya mo yan, Tito. Pagsubok lang yan." In English, it means you can do it. It's just a test, Tito. In the Philippines, male elders are called Tito, as a sign of respect. She also did not inform us that we had to go to the cave of St. Paul before proceeding to the cave of St. Peter. On the way to the caves, we passed through prayer sites where we were asked to light candles and place on the rock altars while saying a short prayer. That was a solemn and awe-inspiring experience. When we got to the cave of St. Paul, I saw that it was located in a much lower ground, and there were no stairs leading to the entrance of the cave. There were only sharp rocks and boulders. When I looked at the cave and its scratchy interior, I informed the healer, "Hindi namin kaya yan. We can't handle that." Again, she reassured us that it was just a test, and that she and the guides were going to help us. And so, Carmita, terrified as I was, and I managed to get into the cave by crawling and sliding in the rocky interior. After we lighted our candles and said a little prayer, we got out of the cave. By then, our arms and legs had scratches sustained as we traversed the rocks and boulders. Boy, I thought that was challenging until we arrived at the cave of St. Peter. When I saw it, I said, "Oh my God, I definitely cannot do this." It was an underground cave, and the entrance was a narrow hole in the ground. The cave was deep down inside, and the bottom was pitch black. One had to go down a long, makeshift ladder made of steel pipes propped against the wall of the cave below to get down into the cave. I felt like I was being asked to roll down a steep hill with no end in sight and not knowing how to get back up in one piece. At that point, I remember looking up at the sky and saying, "Lord, I surrender and trust that you will take care of us." So, with blind faith and extreme difficulty, we went down barefooted into the cave, wrote our names on a rock using the base of our candles as our pen, placed our lighted candles on the rock altar, and managed to get out of the cave in one piece. To this day, I still do not know how we were able to do it. After our visit to the two caves, we walked towards Santa Lucia Falls. Upon reaching our last destination, Carmita and I then slowly and cautiously walked down the 270 steps. Some of these steps were unevenly chiseled rocks that were slippery because it was wet and had moss growing on it. I had to stop around 4 times to rest. There were 2 falls in this site, where we needed to bathe in. One was the Diyos Ama Falls, or the God the Father Falls. The water was really cold, but so soothing and refreshing. The other falls is the Buhok ni Maria Falls, or the Hair of Mary Falls. FYI, Mary here refers to the mother of Jesus. In both falls, we not only had to bathe, but we also had to drink the water. After bathing the falls, the healer asked us to rest while dipping our legs in the river at the base of the falls, which we did. It was at this point that I noticed that the scratch marks in my legs, arms, and head that I sustained earlier while climbing in and out of the caves completely disappeared. I was dumbfounded. I noticed before we started to go up the 270 step stairs, I felt lighter, as if a heavy load was removed from me. I also felt much stronger. When I walked up the steps, I saw myself doing it without any help. My companions noticed that not only could I go up the steps without assistance, but I was climbing up fast. When we got to the top, we walked for at least 1 kilometer to reach the place where we parked our car. I believe we traveled by foot no less than 3 kilometers that day. It was a distance I could not imagine I could cover. When we got back home in Manila, I noticed my back pain was dramatically reduced. I could do without painkillers what I could not do before without experiencing stabbing pains, like picking up things from the floor, sitting up from bed, changing position in bed, standing up from a sitting position, walking up and down our stairs, and others. I still felt pain, but only more or less 20% of what I used to experience. For Carmita and I, it was truly a miracle. But for me, it was more than that. It was life-changing. I then spent some time in quiet reflection of what happened. I realized that we need to fully trust God for Him to perform His miracles in our life. Moreover, that we need not only have faith in Him, but also have to do what we can to help others if we want to completely heal our mind, body, and spirit. Right after that, I started to inform my relatives and friends about this healing mountain. I was warned that people might think I'm making up the story, or I was crazy. But I paid no heed to these warnings. What was important for me and my wife was to inform people that there is this healing mountain in the Philippines, blessed by God to help people who are looking for a miracle or a non-medical solution to their physical and mental health issues. And that the miracles happen here to those who love and trust God. 1 week after our experience, Carmita and I were talking about the pilgrims that we saw at Santa Lucia Falls. These pilgrims, for obvious reasons, were only those who were strong enough to walk down the 270 step stairs leading to the falls and back up. Carmita then said, "It's a pity that the really sick and weak cannot experience the healing power of the falls." That statement sparked our desire to provide the sick and the weak the opportunity to feel God's love and get healed in Mount Banahaw. We then asked the healer if there's a way to heal the sick and the weak without having them go down the 270 steps going to the Santa Lucia Falls and climb back up. She said yes. we can have the water from the falls brought up and bathe them immediately with it. That was when I came up with a plan to build a complex in Mount Banahaw where the sick and the weak pilgrims can go through a healing process. This plan was presented to Kamita, and she agreed that it would help the sick and the weak. We envision that the admission to this complex is free. Moreover, that it will be developed, built, and operated by people who believe in the good the project will bring and would like to support it in whatever way they can. If you feel you're one of those who would like to assist in actualizing the project, please let us know by sending us an email addressed to valueshub.tcc@gmail.com. In case you may be asking the question, is this project exclusively for the Christians? The answer is no. It's open to all, regardless of their religion, race, economic status, and political affiliation. If you believe in the healing power of God, we invite you to come over to Mount Banahaw. Thank you so much for your time, and we hope to hear from you soon. Have a good day.